Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. In today's video, guys, we're gonna talk about Varl the Destroyer, the Chimera Killer. This is a free champion that you can collect from the Doom Tower. Now, truth be told, it will take you quite some time to get a champion, but he is one of the very few Doom Tower champions that actually have a place in the game. So basically, complete secret rooms and slowly you will collect fragments for a bunch of champions. Just in case if you're not familiar with the whole system, if you're newish at the game, right? Basically, if I remember it correctly, Varl the Destroyer will be the fourth champion that we can get from the Doom Tower. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. It has been a while since I've completed all that content. Basically, guys, as I've mentioned in previous videos as well, if you watch the video with Ninja, enemy max HP champions are at the top of the food chain in the Chimera clan boss, and that's mainly because it's easier to build them and they don't necessarily require to ignore a lot of defense and have crazy stats. Now, there are a few champions in the game that can actually increase their own stats, either from passives, either from active skills. So you have champions like Toshiro that can do it, Ninja that can do it, Harima that can do it with her A2. We have a couple of others as well. But my main focus on today, guys, is going to be on this bad boy right here. Not only that he is perfect affinity for this current rotation, his spirit affinity, going versus force, so his strong affinity, pretty good base stats. And yes, his passive will increase this champion's attack by 10%. Each time they use an active skill, stacking up to 100%, and will reset each round. Now, a Chimera battle is a full round. Not only that he can deal damage, but he will bring you some utility on top of it. With the A1, he's going to heal himself. With the A2 attacks all enemies, has a chance to land the weaken for 2 turns and a decreased attack on enemies who receive the weaken debuff. Basically, we're not going to need to bring in a different defense down and weaken champion. We're going to be able to run with Varl the Destroyer and a different champion like Ninja, Acrisia, or a different champion that can apply defense down and deal good damage at the same time. With the A3, attacks one enemy, will ignore 30% of the target's defense, which is already massive because you want to ignore as much defense as possible, up to 100% in this content. So that's basically what Varl the Destroyer can do. Mine does have a 6-star crushing rend, guys. I've got fortunate enough to summon it. He is empowered at +1, so he will have 10% extra attack from there and some extra accuracy, which of course will make my life easier. The blessing will add quite a good chunk of stats on him. So we're gonna get close to ignore 100% of the target's defense, especially when Hand Smasher procs. So let's head over to the Chimera clan boss. This time around, we're gonna run a slightly different team. I'm still going to kind of like try and keep most of the usual suspects. I've already done my Ultra Nightmare, so we're gonna go on Nightmare this time around. Now on Nightmare, the boss only has 280 levels, which means that Crushing Rend will ignore 28% of the target's defense. This is the team right here. We're gonna use Ninja for defense down, and we're gonna use Varl the Destroyer for weaken and decrease attack. Of course, we're gonna have some more additional decrease attack from Nekmotar, increase speed. We're gonna have the Leech. We're gonna have Duchess as a reviver. Because I have 2 damage dealers, guys, it does make sense to basically run an AoE reviver rather than a single target, because it will get really tricky once we're gonna get to the ramp form. We're gonna use Mikage for increased accuracy to help us with trials, for increased crit rate, increased crit damage, sorry, not increased crit rate, and increased attack to help us with other trials as well, if we're gonna be able to complete them. And with the extension of buffs and the decreased duration of buffs on the enemy, and increases the duration of debuffs as well. So that's what we're running. Let's see what numbers we can get from these champions. I'm not planning to compare Ninja with Varl the Destroyer. Ninja is +4. He has much crazier stats than Varl the Destroyer. Unlike the previous video where I showcased you Ninja with these stats, right? This time around, Varl the Destroyer is not at this level. I'm actually going to show you quick the stats, then I'm going to go over the build at the end of the video. But these are his stats. So definitely more achievable for an endgame player. And considering that I have a high blessing on him, only the blessing gives me 750 attack and 38 crit damage, right? So that's something to keep in mind as well. 7.4k attack, full crit, 310 crit damage, 439 accuracy. Now, of course, the masteries will help us a bit more with the accuracy and stuff. But that being said, let's crack on and stack the passives on these bad boys and see what numbers we're getting out of it. There is no secret, guys. If you don't have very strong enemy max HP champions, your best friends are champions like these ones that can increase their stats from passive, active skills, etc. And the good thing is Ninja and Varl the Destroyer, both free champions. Yes, unfortunately, you cannot get Ninja moving on from here because that deal expired, but he was a free champion twice, actually. So now we go with Varl the Destroyer in. We're going to land Weaken, decrease attack. Beautiful. Of course, Lady Mikage will increase Ninja's damage quite a bit as well, and that's mainly because of the ally attack. But I do want to show you what Varl the Destroyer can do on the build that we have on him. He will surprise you. Trust me when I am telling you that. At least he surprised me, because I've used him in my team on the very first week, if I remember it correctly. And he was bringing in some good numbers. So we're still stacking that passive, right? We used the skills twice. We need to use them 8 more times before we're going to get to that maximum damage. Maximum damage. Very curious to see once both of them, they have their passive stacked. Considering that Ninja has like, what, 1.5k extra attack, 70 plus extra crit damage. And he increases the passive, so he gains 30 or 40 more crit damage from the passive as well. I'm very curious to see how big is the difference in terms of how much damage they are dropping, basically, right? Because Varl the Destroyer will hit really hard with the A1 and the A3. The A2 won't hit as hard, but it will still do some pretty good damage. So let's do that. Get that immunity. The perfect veil, it will be required for some trials, but in some forms, it will actually cost us because the boss will go crazy if we have the veil. So A1 right here, 435k. Let's see an A1 from Ninja. They're both kind of like at the same 505k. Pretty much at the same... kind of lost what I was trying to say. Their passives are pretty much equal in terms of how stacked they are by now. There we go. And Ninja already ran out of increased attack. 748k from his A3. And we're still going. We're still going, guys. If you have a third Volt can do a pretty good job as well. But again, if you have a high blessing on him, will be helpful. If not, do not sleep on these champions. And I'm talking about every difficulty. It doesn't matter if you're going to try on easy, if you're going to try on Ultra Nightmare. These champions can get you to that top chest, guys. Do not sleep on them. 578k. We are looking better and better. Better and better. Turn 5, 13.6 million damage. And we're still going to put a couple of more millions. More or less. So we have increased speed on the boss. The A1, 500,000 damage from there. A3 from Ninja, 571. You see, Varl the Destroyer hits harder with his A3 at the moment. My favorite form. This is absolutely horrendous. I hate this freaking form. Let's even try to get some of the trials done in the process. Because why not? You see, so we landed 2. Beautiful Ninja. He died, no problem. We're actually going to revive. Hopefully that boss is not going to completely melt us. So I'm going to go with the A1 so we get some healing in the process, you see. I hate that the reflect damage occurs instantly and the healing doesn't, so they cannot counter each other, if that makes sense. It really sucks because it would make this form much more easier in a way, I would say. Come on, another extra turn, Nekmo. Don't let me down. So how many debuffs we need? 2 more. So we need 1 more increased accuracy. So is there any point to land this? Let's do it. He died, not a problem. We're gonna revive him after, but at least we landed a decreased attack. We have the weaken on the boss. And we still need that increased accuracy for 2 more debuffs. Defense down. I was gonna say, please don't land it so we can do it with increased accuracy. Thank you. So what do we have? Decreased speed for 3 turns. Leech for 1 turn. We should be able to make that happen. We're gonna revive right now, actually, because we are on the last turn right there. Defense down. Land now. Beautiful. Come on, Nekmo. I am counting on you. So I could go ham right now and deal some serious damage, but he's gonna die. Unfortunately, these trials are bugged here, guys. So if your champions will basically get wrecked in the process, the damage won't count. Place 6 unique debuffs on the Chimera within 5 of its turns while your champions are under increased accuracy. Why are we down to 1? Very weird. For whatever reason, we went down to 1. Seems like that's another bug. I mean, can you expect anything else than bugs from new content? 726k, and we went suicidal there. Let him die, because he shall return. He shall return in a much, much better form. Or at least that's what we like to believe. Let's do an ally attack, land that defense down in the meantime. While my Duchess gets ready to revive again. She does have a 4-turn cooldown revive, so it takes a bit longer than with other champions. I wish I would have had, for example, Lady Noelle right here. She would have been perfect for this team. But of course, we're going to have to swap the team around a little bit. But we can bring in an Opardin instead of Nekmo and get a job done. Okay, let's decrease the duration of buffs on the boss so he doesn't have that increased speed for too long. Unfortunately, Duchess did not have enough time to take another turn to put a provoke. But we are getting closer and closer to max the passives on these champions. Mainly, all we care about is seeing Varl the Destroyer, the Chimera Slayer, the Breaker of Chains, the Father of Orcs, and the Protector of Teleria. I feel like that's an accurate title for Varl the Destroyer, guys. What do you think? So we need a weaken right here. Come on. Put that weaken on. Beautiful. For 3 turns as well. We like seeing that. Let's increase the duration of buffs and debuffs on the enemy. More buffs on Varl will be nice, just to basically get some additional damage. So we're going to go all in with the A3. We're getting close to max that passive. 925k. Beautiful. Ninja getting close to 777. I feel like I'm on a slot machine and I'm getting the jackpot with that. 777. Let's drop all of that decreased speed in there and the leech. Turn 15, 30 million damage. We should have more, but the ramp form is very painful. So it's kind of like a bit of a different story in there. Defense down. Beautiful. Weaken. Beautiful. You see? You don't really need to bring in a different champion for defense down and weaken. If you make a combo with a couple of champions that bring these debuffs, is actually massive. So we're actually going to increase the duration of buffs right here. HP burn. Duchess getting she's getting wrecked right there. Varl the Destroyer with the A1, 574k. And I feel like by now we should have those passive stacked though. We got plenty of turns with both Ninja and Varl the Destroyer. Let's do an ally attack. Yeah, that increased crit damage on. I can't really see how much damage we got with that. Ninja, weak hit unfortunately. Varl the Destroyer, 1.2 million damage. 1,279k with the A3. Looking better and better, guys, right? Looking better and better. This is a champion that you can get for free from the Doom Tower. But it will take you some time. Don't expect it to be overnight, right? Some HP burn. So Ninja with a A2 brought in around 1.5 million damage. Varl the Destroyer will get close to it with the A3. With the A2, he won't hit as hard. It's 648k, 650k, but it's still very good damage, don't get me wrong. The A1 will hit harder if I remember it correctly. So let's Let's go ham in here. No increased attack, 451k, you see. So once we're going to get an increased attack, it will be much, much better. Let's get the increased attack and see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Extra turn. I like seeing those extra turns on Neck Motar. Another one. Keep them coming. 512k with the A1. That felt pretty weak. I feel like Helm Smasher did not proc there because we almost hit for that amount of damage before without increased attack. 602k. That looks better. So A3 from Ninja, 835k. Let's see the A3 from Varl, the Destroyer, the Chimera Slayer. 1.1 million. Almost 1.2. So pretty good. Very good, actually. So Ninja out damages Varl with the A2, but Varl out damages Ninja on the A3. And considering that Ninja has much crazier stats, it's actually pretty impressive to see it, right? Turn 20, 40 million damage. Let's put that weaken. That was a mistake. We were not supposed to put that. I've just realized turn 20. As soon as I said it, I've used the skill and thought about it only after. The boss will metamorph. We are going to lose all of those debuffs. A1, 666k. Looking better and better. Nice. So we're almost on 50 million damage. Let's use this ally attack, land the defense down with Ninja maybe. Almost. Get a turn meter. We're going to go again A1 with Ninja to make sure we're going to land the debuffs though. We got to have the defense down and the weaken. Of course, an ally attack will be really helpful. So that's why it's pretty important to have one, because if he fails to land defense down 20 times in a row like he just did, eventually he will land that defense down, sorry. Not decrease attack. So let's go again. My god, Ninja, what are you doing? Varl, show him how this is being done. Show him how to land the debuffs. There we go. You see? He just needed Varl the Destroyer to teach him a lesson. 22 turns, 53 million damage. And we are going pretty strong. A3 coming in hot. 945k. I don't think the forms have different stats. Actually, they do have different stats. They do have different stats, if I remember it correctly. At least I've noticed that on accuracy and resistance, maybe. 1 million from Ninja, 728 from Varl the Destroyer. Now, if I would swap the builds on them, Varl would, wow, absolutely bury Ninja on this one. 543 right there. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put it on auto and see whatever happens. And then we're going to have a look at the final result to see the total damage. I will keep an eye on the run to make sure that we are going to get close to the 65 turns. There we are, guys, near the end. I actually had to keep a very close eye on the run because the Viper form absolutely demolished the team. So this is the end. 65 turns, 161 million damage. And in terms of damage from Varl the Destroyer, we have 58.7, almost 60 million. And from Ninja, we have 90.9, almost 91. So as expected, Ninja will out-damage Varl the Destroyer. +4, Lady Mikage in the team, which will give him tons of additional damage. And of course, much better stats. But to be honest with you guys, Varl the Destroyer at 58.7 million, I feel like is definitely really solid. And he doesn't have the craziest build in the game whatsoever. So let me just quickly show you what stats I have on them. I'm actually not going to save the key because I gotta come back and complete more trials. We only got 6 trials. I haven't really paid attention to them much. So if I'm quickly going to show you the build on Varl, if you want to see the builds on the other champions, please refer to the Ninja video on the Chimera team that I've posted before. You're going to find all of the builds there. But this is Varl the Destroyer. 6-piece Merciless and 1 accuracy set. Total stats, we have 48k HP, 7.4k attack, 2.8k defense, 247 speed, full crit rate, 310 crit damage, 439 accuracy. If you remove the blessing, he's going to lose a lot of stats, right? Now, the Blessing as Crushing Grand does help quite a bit to deal additional damage, but he already ignores defense with the A3, which is nice. He ignores defense with the Masteries, so overall, pretty damn good, right? Offense and support, Helm Smasher as a tier 6. Ninja had much crazier stats, and I'm personally really liking Varl the Destroyer. He's definitely a top 10 damage dealer for the Chimera. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and you have a few different options in terms of what damage dealers you can use. Now, as usual, appreciate all of you watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.